Good evening, Sean.
Evening, Dave.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. You
Good.
okay?
Yeah, I am also okay. I guess that's like the most, the most we can hope for right now, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. So
Yeah, yeah,
there we are. Um.
yeah.
So I thought we'd play some Spiritfarer today.
Yeah.
So this is a game. Uh, we've talked about. I think have we? We talked about.
Yes. Yeah. We must have at some point talked about this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, um, yes. Like I'd have probably said, "Hey, this game is a lot like something."
Yes, so let's get rid of the kind of ladybird coloured elephant in the room that, like, Sean and I suppose, feel without having played a lot of this or really watched a lot of it or whatever, felt kind of got the impression that this is um, a game like how we imagined making it at home might end up
Yeah.
when we were first designing making home, but also well before Spiritfarer came out, right? Like, I'm not suggesting we were there first. Of course, this
Oh
has
no,
been in
no, no. Yeah.
development. I'm not making that suggestion, but the similarities for us are really interesting, right? And
Yeah.
also, by extension, the contrasting elements between Spiritfarer and making it home are also very interesting for us and useful for us as developers.
hmm
Long-time viewers of the stream will remember me playing Far Lone Sales. What must be over a year ago now, right? Good evening, Dave
Yeah.
Soft. That felt like quite a similar influence game,
Yeah.
really, for us in terms of what
Mhm.
we wanted making it home to be like. So, like, that's, I think, where, for me, playing this game right now comes in. It's just like, well, we're still in early access with making it home. There's still things that we're developing and changing for the game. And certain games like this will just be really interesting and useful for that
hmm
part of the process.
Yeah.
Um, before I get into it, is there anything you would want to add or mention, Sean?
No, I think once we get in, we can. I can maybe call out some stuff of like I said in the Discord. Like this is. I feel like this is the game. Like I hate to say this is the game we originally pitched, but it's like when I see this is kind of what we thought making it home would be more like. I think when we first had the idea.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, development goes in directions, so that isn't
Mm-hmm.
what we ended up with. But it's just that's why it's interesting to me. It's like that, like it's like, oh yeah, this is maybe what our initial vision was more like, which is really neat. Um, yes, and
As
Dave still
yeah,
points
yeah,
out we
yeah.
would
I
have
mean,
needed a hell of a lot of artists.
that's the
Yeah,
other elephant in the room, if you like. Is the visuals are just. I think for us, like the visuals of this game, like, yeah, they're aspirational, like, and we'll never develop something that really looks this well without that kind of approach that which is beyond us, really. It's beyond our scope. Um,
hmm
I suppose what's interesting for me is the other aspects of that, like you said, Sean, about the kind of how the game feel, the direction of gameplay, the core mechanical loop, and so on and so forth. Because I think, like, indie games these days obviously have a very high bar for aesthetics. Like, you need to look beautiful, however you manage it, like however simply that beauty comes across. Like, aesthetics are a big part of it. Um, so why I was just checking that is because I'm going to actually hit continue. Like, I haven't played a lot of
Yeah,
Spiritfarer. That's in absolutely no one's surprise. But I thought, rather than hit new game and just walk you through the really basic bog standard stuff of, like, how to jump and all that kind of stuff, you don't need to see that. The only thing we miss is like the opening cutscene,
yeah,
a
okay.
little bit. So I'll
Mhm.
just fill that in briefly. We are I believe it's a young girl called Stella and her cat Daffodil. I think when you play co-op, which this game does offer, like, one player gets to play as the cat, which seems pretty awesome. Um, and you've just like rocked up in the what appears to be this ocean rather than river for those kind of Greek mythology purists. It's an ocean that Charon, the kind of Spiritfarer of ancient Greece, helps spirits cross from our existence to the underworld, right? That's the kind of. I mean, if you're interested, Google Charon and your Charon, and you will see far better explanation there, or far better explanation than the game actually gives. But weirdly, this guy's retiring, which is an interesting twist on Greek mythology. I don't think any of them really retired. Some of them were retired by other people, but so he's retiring, and basically we're taking on that role. Okay? So that's what we're doing. So here we are, and already it's a stunning look, no doubt. But this is us. This is Stella. This is Little Daffodil, and this is our ship. Okay, so it's kind of got this main. You start with this main building here, and you go in here. This is how you go inside. It's all nice and lovely. There's a map thing here, which is a lot like. Immediately. I'll show you what it's like, but I thought Sea of Thieves immediately, given what we've recently been playing, Sean. And you kind of start here, the Everdor, and like you kind of go over to this harbour. You go to this shipyard, which I've been to, and we're going to our next place we've got to go to is the Mostine Cove. Now, like, it's interesting. I don't want to get too gamey right at the start, right? But or game design discussion-y. But how this map functions, I think, is super interesting for what we were thinking about in terms of like illusion of choice and an illusion of control.
Yeah.
So the fact that I can travel back to these places, even though there is a reason to go back to the shipyard at some point, but really I need to go to the cave. So what I do is I just set this here, and in the top left-hand corner you can see a journey like timer, right? Okay. That's the journey timer there.
Can you, on that map, can you just go anywhere in the middle of the ocean, or can you only go to those locations?
That's a really good question. Next time we do that, I will check, because I haven't looked at that yet. Right. So this is the other bit of the boat. This is like the main part of the boat that we're going to be using, and initially it's like covered in junk, right? And then you build some stuff to it. So I've built a kitchen here and a guest house. So if we go into the guest house, we have our first spirit guest, right? And she's like you can talk to her, and I don't know why she doesn't want to talk right now, but I guess she's got nothing to say. She's definitely been, and yes, you can pet the cat, just in case you're wondering. She's been like the part of the tutorial that tells you what you need to do, right? So she's sent me on various missions, including go to this cave thing.
Can just say, firstly, this game is gorgeous.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
And that character there, she doesn't have to say the character that sat on the couch.
In the house.
What's she? What animal is she?
It's a reindeer, a spirit reindeer. Oh, here we go.
Okay, she's talking now. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's because we've arrived at this cavern.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we're now outside.
The way that how well she was drawn. Is it she? Do you say she?
I think so.
Okay. Immediately I just felt like something was wrong. It just really.
She looked sad, right?
She looked sad. She looked sad, and I felt sad. It was,
I mean, the animation is absolutely adorable. Like, if you just leave yourself a little, you can see the cat. It's just loving this little ball of light. If you just the idle animations are stunning. The jump animations are great. I mean, I can imagine it doesn't feel the best jumping game in the world, but it doesn't need to, right? Like, it doesn't need to be that. It's just lovely. And there's just so many little lovely touches. I just want to, before we get into, she's about to give me some kind of mission and stuff like that. But the last thing I want to point out before we do is this is the blueprint editor. Okay,
Right.
this thing at the top of the boat here. So if I activate that, right, and it gives you should give me so like it's a bit hard to see on this background.
I can see, yeah.
But you can see like there's a grid here, right? Like I don't know, was it 10 by 10, 15 by 15, something like that?
Yeah.
A grid which takes up the center of the boat. Okay, and this is how you build stuff onto this this system. And it interestingly, like it changes your cursor to something that's a bit clunkier than a cursor. Like I can click up and down, and
it's snapping, right?
It's snapping, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm using a controller for that. So yeah, I can build, but also like and this is when the building menu comes up, and you've got kind of a classic pop-out menu. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, like we initially did consider like a snap-out style menu for our building approach when we were way back, when we were thinking about not having a blueprint mode and making it home. We just kind of but that was a different approach to what we ultimately took, right? Because this is, if you think about it, like this this building option, like menu and stuff, is quote unquote in game, whereas ours has a separate menu screen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Building on the fly, as Dave Soft says. Yeah.
So Luke Lee mentioning that the tutorial animal character smokes.
Yeah. She's classier than old Rusty. She's got a cigarette holder, but can't. Good spot. Right, so we should hop on that island over there. Maybe we'll find something interesting. Okay, so there's a pretty straightforward quest kind of system. So it gives you that. You can check your upgrades.
Even that UI, like there's a hand painted element to this as well, right? Hand drawn. What is that style? Is this because initially when you kind of, I suppose, pitched the idea for making it home, you were like Studio Ghibli, weren't you? Is this in that direction?
I mean, I think it is reminiscent of that. Like, I think for a Western audience, like Ghibli will probably have more of an influence than it might in other cultures. Like, because they're like for people like you and me, Sean, who are perhaps ignorant of other animes or manga or whatever. Like, there might be other types of anime or manga that this is even closer to. Like, I don't know if it's closer to Airbender, but to me it has a Ghibli vibe. I mean, you've got a cute companion, you know, and stuff like that. But maybe aficionados would say actually it's closer to X, Y, or Z. But we're gonna go into the boat, row onto the island. So it's also kind of funny to me how much of this is kind of similar to Sea of Thieves in some ways. Like, it's obviously a very different game, but like it's like, this is strange how much this is kind of like Sea of Thieves. Okay, what a majestic tree. Well, you can cut it down. Yes, it's found a promise. Okay, so we're just kind of gathering materials, I guess.
I like the effect, the wibbly wobbly trees.
Yeah.
Like
nice.
That's the
So how am I supposed to? Oh, I'm supposed to. Okay, I'm using the cat.
Magic swords.
Oh, nice. No. Okay, so I get to control this. There we go.
Oh, cool. So you're right. Yeah.
Okay. Apparently.
Do you remember when we first were making it home, and we had this idea of making it almost like WarioWare, where every panel would be a little mini game thing?
Yes. I also remember us thinking about like whether or not we would have collectible materials along the side of the road that you'd have to pick up. So, here we go. I assume nothing here says go find 10 more, but I assume I just want to pick up. Actually, she's got an. You
cut down the trees. The trees are there.
Yeah, some trees are more interactable than others, so obviously those are the ones I cut down. She wants to say something, so I probably should have talked to her. Congratulations, You have become Death, the Destroyer of Worlds. Nice. Joke aside, that's how you do it. Go on ahead, cutting down more trees. Then we can go back to the boat and build the field with all the maple logs. Okay, so.
So now you. Okay. Yeah.
So now I can do that, but let's see if there's anything else. More materials here before I go.
I like it that the side quests are called shenanigans.
Yes.
Okay.
So
that reminds me of something that I kept meaning to talk about. To do with Uncharted 4, which I completed eventually.
Oh yeah.
Something that really started irritating me with Uncharted 4 was I would go into a space and me as a human player, knew how to get through that space, but the game wasn't ready for me to find that solution yet.
Oh, okay.
And so I had to wait for an NPC to tell me, oh, we're meant to go up there.
Okay.
And I just thought that was really interesting that like the game had taught me its environment and its language, its of where to go in rooms so well, and yet that I had to wait and for the NPC to figure it out. Because I just thinking there, you went ahead and cut that tree down and came back. She was like, "Hey, you should maybe go ahead and cut those trees."
Yeah, true. What the one thing I am finding kind of interesting, and again, this is something that like we've had player feedback on and blah 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 blah, but about like the layers of this game in terms of like literal layers of what you can interact with and how you move between them, like that's something that the game doesn't give you too much affordance on.
Yeah. Can you always jump through all the platforms?
Yes.
No, right.
Well,
yes.
I mean, like on the ship and any other platforms I've come across so far, yes. So like I can hop down here, for instance, and then jump back on, but you just have to kind of get a sense of, well, it's a wooden platform, so let's just do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can also do nice things.
Oh,
like,
cool.
You can hug stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely got that vibe, right? Like you do have to feed her. She's like a pet reindeer in some ways.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do to get you back on this boat?
I like how whenever you go near an object that you can interact with, they add this like outline to it that makes it look like it's cut out paper.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch.
Okay, I'm just giving you some. I know.
I also like the use of the word veggies.
Yes. Uses. Okay. She does like popcorn, but she told me specifically she doesn't like the same meal twice. We're just going to assume she's getting on the boat.
Yeah.
Right. So the sun's going down. We can build a field. That's what we need to do.
Okay. Yeah. So so this is a farming game as well, ultimately, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I didn't realize how much freedom you had on building this. Like.
Yeah. It's kind of like you'd think it is restricted in the sense that it's that grid, right? Like I think you can get bigger boats, to quote Jaws.
Yeah.
So there's that, but like I'm assuming that's how you then kind of go. It like scales up and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So we've got to plant some seeds. They can only grow in their respective places. Garden seeds won't grow in the field, so don't bother trying. Okay. Anyway, there's only one place where we could possibly find what we need. Theodore specializes in seeds. His shop in Hummingbird, the busiest town in the area. Theodore and his brothers are the founders of Raccoon Inc., a shady retail franchise with very loose moral values. Yes, this world has a serious problem of dubious business practices. Since I don't want to get swindled, I'll come with you and do most of the talking. I've run... Okay, so... I'm just skipping through that a bit quickly. What you tend to see, like so far, I suppose, is that she's like the gatekeeper to the game. Really, she like tells you what to do and where to go and how to get how you need to get organized. She also tells you about the characters that you're going to encounter.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's a bed.
There is a bed. Yes. Again, like it's so crazy how close we were to making every choice that this game makes. Like
there's a bed. So like if for those of you who played Making It Home, we had a bed, right? We had a bed in the first prototype. There was a bed, and there's still actually in the code the ability, like you could still, if the bed was there, you could go and sleep, but it just doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah. I mean, here it does do something. So I'm just going to see if I can set that destination. I can set a destination in the random middle of nowhere.
So it is kind of not. It kind of is free, right?
Yeah, it's got a lot more freedom to it in that sense. The thing about the day-night cycle, right? Like, and again, this is what we wrestled with early on and couldn't find a really satisfying reason to do it. Is like your guests on the boat, right? Go to sleep at night, right? And and interestingly, you stop moving at night as well. The boat stops navigating, so you see we're not going anywhere right now. So what you can do at night is manage all this stuff, right? Like, so I can go into the kitchen and I can start cooking some stuff, right? I don't have any I don't think I have any recipes that use anything I've got, right? So I don't think I can actually cook stuff, but I could, right? Like I could. That's why it's something I could do in this time where it's like a pause, like it's not a pause, but you know, it's you're not journeying. So then I just go. The other main thing I can do to pass the time is go to sleep until morning, right? And I think it's supposed to refresh the character, but I don't really know what that means yet. But it will like it refreshes the boat, it refreshes the NPCs. And then I get to use the bell.
Does that wake everyone up?
Yeah, to wake people up. Yeah, and they're very particular about when you use the bell, so you have to be a bit careful about that. That's interesting. Luke Lee saying, "Oh, I know, Luke Lee. We're talking about you picked it up for Switch and stuff." So I too thought I could just cook anything. So I'm going to try cooking. Actually, if I just cook one fish, right? I'm going to see. So this is cooking. I think the timer.
They're doing some cool stuff with the like using that hand drawn artwork and kind of adding the animation there with the shaders like that. Wobbly. So
that timer's going there. I could go out and do something else. Like I'd probably need to ring the bell soon.
I love that. Like I love that look of. It just looks like that reminds me of like when I was a kid making things with like split pins and like where I'd have cardboard fake clocks and like a piece of paper that's on top of another piece of paper turning around, you know, like
So I assume like that means it's done, right? So at this rate I'm going to burn that. So you get these magical mitten gloves, and there we go. We got a grilled fish. So obviously I was just not doing my fish right. So there we go. So I can cook. Something you can do, but I need to wake up this lass. So she's now up, which is great. And I don't know I don't know where we are. Have we reached the place?
Nowhere.
Yeah, we've reached the middle of nowhere. So there's nothing there, but you can do fishing and stuff. So there's sometimes that's relevant.
What's the little? Is that little? There's a little like train bus looking thing down the bottom.
Train bus down. Oh, this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want?
Have you tried going to it?
Let's try going there. Let's go via the crates though, so that I can show you the crates. Right. So we're going there.
That moved. That was in a different place.
What was the crates?
That bus looking thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It was a different place.
Yeah, I don't know what that does. So the other thing you can do, and this is interesting for us, is because this is like you can fish off the back of the boat, right? Like, and initially this is the only thing you can do on the boat when you're between destinations.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting that they gave the player something to do, like when their boat was on the basic level, right? When there was nothing to manage.
Yeah.
You can fish, right? Okay. So now the crates are coming. So.
Oh, cool. Okay, right. That.
So you just go down into the yeah. So it tells you, as you said, when you leave the boat, everything stops, and you can actually like pick up stuff that have got onto the side of the boat. But I sometimes find that a bit fiddly between the two buttons. More than one button is fiddly. So we're picking up these seashells off the seashore. I don't know what empty shells are for. Like, I'm just assuming, like, classic resource game, I'm picking up everything. You can also dive. Sometimes that picks up stuff, but it's only really worth doing if you've got something to dive for. So this is, I believe, the crate. Like, you can go, like, I can just apparently go way off screen. I don't know if that actually does anything.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much all we've got here. It's gonna kind of move us along a bit. So it's got elements of file lane sales in the sense of you being on rails. Right?
Yeah.
But there's also, it feels like there's also quite a lot of control.
Yeah. Because that map
change,
you think.
Yeah. Which again is interesting. Like, so I've picked up those crates. This is basically another kind of resource node, right?
Yeah.
It's like jellyfish and you jump into them. Interesting for us, obviously, because again they use player movement and jumping as part of collecting the resources.
Yeah.
Right. So, in fact, I'll show you that as well before we go to this next like story beat place. So I don't know why if I toggled the journey thing off, there was a way of doing that. I wonder if I
kind of want to see the original pitch doc or whatever their initial kind of like what their initial idea was, like how similar. It's interesting. What I find interesting is like, yeah, there are quite a lot of similarities in the decisions that they made and we made, I suppose. Like you said, the jumping around, realizing that has to be like how important that is. Like I wonder. So like when we first started working on making it home, like as we've probably said a million times, like it was a mouse game, right? It was like you click on things. But we found that you didn't feel connected to your vehicle unless you could walk around it.
Yes. Right. So yes, yeah, exactly, and that's what you get to do here, right? Like this is what all this is. Like you are creating the platforming level, like we always say with making it home, by where you place your buildings, and so on and so forth. And it becomes important, kind of now. With this kind of jellyfish level, so you might see in the background there are jellyfish kind of floating around, right? And at some point I'm going to be able to grab some of these. Right. I think I certainly was able to last time. What have you got to say? Here we go again. Jellyfish is stealing light. It's not hope for me. I'll never get used to it. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay, right. My fish is burning, Stat. My fish is burning. Wrong buttons.
Do you have to take it off? So you actually have to take that, right?
I have to take that.
Okay, so are you telling me, Dave, there's plate spinning?
There is plate spinning, and for some reason I can't get into the kitchen.
Is it because you're in the...
It's because I'm in it. Yeah, here's the jellyfish. This is why. So I'm supposed to hit these guys, right? And they give me glims. I have yet to use a glim. Except the bright glims, which are a special
really, again, nice effect of using that kind of lighting effect, I guess.
Yeah.
That glow. I think this is more. These are more analogous to coins, are they? Like
yes, for us.
Are they?
Yes,
Yeah.
They are very much the coins.
Jelly mentioned carrots.
Yes,
Are there
because
things
they 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 don't do anything negative to your vehicle if they hit it. That's the reason why I would be like.
But if they're sitting in the light, does that have like maybe an effect on your crops or
Oh
something?
shit, maybe it does. Yeah. So, sorry, I shouldn't have sworn. You're right. Yeah, like so far I haven't noticed a negative effect, but that's certainly what that dialogue I kind of whizzed through a bit would suggest, right? And notice how like I mean it's a play experience very similar to our own, right? Like where you're like, I need to build higher because some of this stuff is up here and I can't get it.
Yeah.
So that's something our players have kind of like experience of, I'm sure. And that fish is going to be so overdone. Right. Okay. Let's see if I can get back in there. There we go. Okay.
I sometimes wonder, like watching a game like this, like or like seeing. I guess and people who are in chat who you know like if you're playing making a home, it'd be great to hear what you think about this. Like the pace of this game, like the game has room to breathe. Like the fact you were sat fishing. And those kind of like almost empty spaces, and I feel like I don't know how much we have. We don't really have. I don't know if it's like partly a fear from our experience with previous games, or like we need to show everything right at the front, and like I don't know. Do we like how is the pacing in making it home? You know, like that is it right? And it's such a hard thing to kind of design and think about because we are the worst people to to like. To
judge
that, I guess?
Yeah, of course. I think one of the key things for me though is that, and we like you say, we made a design choice along these lines quite early on, was it a resource gathering game? And this one is, right?
Yeah.
Like, and as soon as you do that, you need to give players time and space to use and manage resources.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and we said that like the platforming for us was more interesting than the resources. So the fact, like right now, like if I'm trying to be efficient, I should definitely have something cooking, right? Like I should just cook this. But like, you know, I could also not do that, right? Like I think that's like the game's not going to be, don't, you know, this is broken because you haven't been using your cooking time.
Yeah.
You know, and like I've arrived where I need to go, the Hummingberg Island, but I believe I'm just going to stay on my boat till my cooking's done, and there's going to be there's no detrimental effect to that, I don't think. I don't know what happens if I let this burn. But so yeah, I think the resource aspect of it means it does have to be paced differently.
Yeah. So why are you cooking?
Good question. So like I guess the thing we haven't really dealt with yet is that the whole point of us having this boat is to ferry spirits from one part of the underworld to the end of the underworld, I guess. Which I assume is the Evergate, I think which is on the map. This is where ultimately this friend of ours is going to go, but she's more like she's still got plenty of tutorial to give us yet, I think.
Yeah. How similar is this to the story in Hades? What's the deal? Because I know nothing about Greek mythology really. But is it a similar idea? Like, isn't that the same?
It's a different part of the underworld. Like this is a really like unusual. Maybe I'm wrong. My knowledge is not so hot either. But as I said at the start, like my understanding was that Charon is the boat kind of ferryman, right?
Isn't he in Hades? He's what gives you buy your items from him, right?
Yeah. He will be in. Yeah. I can't remember if that's where he is in Hades, but he will be in there. Like, I'm pretty sure. I think you're right. It's been a while since I played that. You've played it much more recently than me. But so he's like but he is literally the bus driver if you're trying to get from Cardiff to Swansea, whereas like in this version it's real the Earth to Hell. That's
right.
You can decide which one out of Cardiff and Swansea is hell. So like he's just the bus driver, and he's basically retired, and you're now the bus driver. That's like essentially what this game is. And these are these spirits, right? I have no idea what he means by. Okay, weird. This guy's like imagining he's in an MMO by the sounds of it, or a roguelike. He's a game designer. 5d20 and an auto. Okay, maybe he's actually into D&D.
Oh, he's D&D. Yeah.
Okay. So that was a weird conversation. I assumed he would be like, "Can I come on your boat?" And like he really wasn't. Okay, so take a good look at the Shrine Stella. It's simply stunning. Some objects in this world are meant to resonate with the Spiritfarer and the Everlight. The Everlight is that little ball of light that's currently in my belt.
Yeah, okay.
That every now and again I do something like turn into an oar or an axe or whatever. I've heard. Sorry?
Is the Spiritfarer the boat? What's the Spiritfarer?
I think it's me. It's me.
Yeah, okay.
This monument has power to enhance the Everlight's abilities. The 2 slots that need to be... need to be filled up. I'm very certain
I know what she's cooking.
Yeah. But to get ovals, you need to welcome more spirits on your ship. Okay, so ovals are the money. Spirits I will get by taking them places. Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Did you ever want a bigger oar?
I do want a bigger boat. You know. So, like, I'm assuming one of these spirits is going to get on my boat. Okay, simply adore your hat. Seize locked rocks, all useless items. I need me a hat like yours. Okay. Do you want to... Sorry, I'm in a bit of a rush. Okay, fine. No worries. You looked in a bit of a rush. Okay, so I'm going to try and get these seeds, which is ultimately why I'm here, Mr. Raccoon Man. Okay, let's talk to him first.
That's a cool looking raccoon.
It is, yeah. Is that his tail? Yeah, it must be his tail. He's got an enormous tail, right? Okay. Since I've been seeing Hummingbird since forever. You've got the glims, I've got the goods. We do have glims. That's what we got from the jellyfish. Hard end glims, step right up. Okay, they didn't feel too hard end, so I'm okay with them.
A key for Hummingbird opens the door next to the broken ladder. That's a lot of glims.
That's way too many glims. Way too many glims. Okay, now we're talking my kind of glim amount. So I'm assuming I'm going straight for coffee beans, Sean.
Yeah, I mean you can't afford them, but yeah.
I can. They're only... Oh god, no. Oh god, okay. I thought they would cost 50. Ooh, I can't afford any of these things.
That's how many they've got in stock.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, you need...
I need to be doing some glimming.
Get some glims.
What about selling stuff? Okay.
Sell the hat.
I didn't even realise I had seeds in my inventory. I suck.
Yeah, how do you feel about like the teasing you with something you can't afford?
Well, that's fine. Like what I was confused about, I thought I needed to buy the seeds from this guy because I didn't have any, and then turns out I have seeds in my inventory, so I don't know quite how I missed that. So oh, okay, there we go. She says they're out of control. Quite right.
Oh, right.
Yes, I am ready for her to obliterate this merchant. Sorry, am I clicking through this too quickly? I should be reading it, shouldn't I? Sorry, and voices? No way. Like in the non-COVID times, you might have got me to do voices, but I don't have the energy for that now. I love that he calls her trash panda. That's awesome.
God, yeah, that's a big burn. Like,
people like you are the reason we have middle fingers. Wow, that's another sick burn. What? Madam, what is the meaning of this? My friend here is the new Spiritfarer, don't you know? But she's not a newbie, and neither am I. That little scam of yours won't work on us. But I can assure you my business practices are quite above board. Be warned, you treacherous striped weasel. Oh, she's bringing out all the animal slurs. I won't tolerate this behaviour one more second. No more shenanigans, no more double crosses, just fair prices. So stop being dishonest at once. Next time I see you, I'll try being nicer. But if you start being smarter. Got it? But yes, of course. I promise you I'll adjust my prices. I beg you, please don't scold me anymore. I'll even give you a discount. So you did get the choice not to have her rip him a new one. Just FYI.
So, like Luke, like three things. Like I just realized, like Luke just brought up some stuff that I was like, yeah, why isn't that? You're talking to animals.
Mm-hmm.
Animals swear.
Yes, again. It's weird, isn't it? It's so weird seeing like your decisions play out in like this directly in someone else's game. Like it must happen all the time to other people. Yeah, by all means. But like that is surprising. Like how many keep cropping up in small and bigger places.
Is there much in the way of dialogue choice? Like, or is it's been a lot of like happy face, frowny face, hasn't it?
Yeah, not a huge amount of choice. I'm not sure you'd necessarily call that a branching narrative. This guy's talking to me. Your friend really gave that greedy merchant some hell. You both joined the upstairs crew. My thing's on the top. Yeah, give me a sec.
I need to read it. But you could necessarily move it.
Okay.
There's a day-night cycle clock in the top right too.
Yes, there is. That would probably be useful for people to see. You want to come up, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. So he's invited up to the upstairs crew, whatever that is. I'm not going to lie, it's pretty cool up being here. Yeah, all the best people are up here. Don't get excited. So some idiot broke the ladder. So this is something about like get the key, get the ladder.
Yeah.
You know, jump in human stairs in the house. Some idiot lost the key. Well, anyway, see ya. Upstairs crew forever. Cool. Okay. So let's see if this has changed his prices considerably. Yeah. Like, wow. Yeah, they are.
What if you'd have, like, is there a way you could have had enough glims at this point to have paid?
Maybe if I was better at Glim farming. Like, I've only seen 2 Glim nodes so far on the map. And if you were, like, super good at them, maybe. But maybe, I mean, I had 1,000.
That's
like
asking for some achievement, right, for doing that.
Yeah, probably. I doubt I could have got, like, maybe double if I was, like, really hot on my Glim catching. But nowhere near, like, 7 times. Like, which what some of them were, right? Okay, so I can't even remember how I get to my inventory. Sorry?
We should buy coffee.
That's what I assumed we're buying coffee. Like, so.
Yeah.
They are 75 glims per seed. We're buying carrots too, because obviously.
Carrots are alright.
I'm just going to buy 1 of each, just to make sure I've got them.
Hey, true story. We've been getting HelloFresh, which is like one of these kind of like box delivery food things where you get all your meals in a box.
Oh yeah.
They sent us an email saying, "Oh, by the way, we accidentally sent it a day early." So all our dinner plans out the window. Arrived early, a whole day early, and I might have had a takeaway tonight. I had to cook because we had food.
Oh no. God damn it! When it ruins takeaway night, it's the worst.
Yeah. Okay.
So these guys, like, I thought I was going to have to fare one of these spirits.
Have you seen Luke Lee has got a tip for you to get the right seed in your, like, possibly in your quest log? To have a look.
Then looking at my quest list. Okay, so. Talk to Gwen.
So you might have done it by luck, right?
Of course. That sounds like I would have done something by luck. but also my kind of shotgun approach paid off. Of like just get one of everything, right? I mean, like this isn't. I don't believe this place is going to go away. So, like, just give her a quick hug. So I think we can come back here. Like, again, I'm not, and this is so interesting for what we're talking about, right? Like, I don't see a fail state yet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, at no point have I thought, oh shoot, I've got to get to this place by this time, otherwise nothing's going to work out. Like, or I'm going to have to start again, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I haven't.
It doesn't feel like. I mean, like that would be a massive curveball. Like, this doesn't feel like this game just feels happy and chill.
Yeah.
But also, I have concerns it's going to get sad.
Yeah. Okay, so I've planted some stuff. They appear to need water from my magic watering can. Have we still got Nacho in the audience this evening watching? If we do, Nacho, can I ask you to follow and unfollow us, or unfollow then follow us, to see if my widget works? So you did that last week for Sean's widget and it didn't work. Well, I mean, it kind of works but didn't work.
No,
it didn't work. Actually, follow this. God damn these widgets.
I know. We suck at Twitch.
So at least with Sean's it came up but we didn't get the full thing.
I still have this, like, I use OBS for my when I do lectures, and I've just got this fear that randomly they'll just pop up during a lecture.
Yeah, it's supposed to because I thought your window might be too small, so I made my pop-up window huge, and it obviously hasn't made the difference. Okay. So I've planted some seeds. They haven't grown yet. Obviously, that takes a little while. Can I build a garden yet? Because that's a field. So no, I need lightning in a bottle. Whatever that is.
Lightning in a bottle?
I know. Okay, so wait. What are we trying to do?
Like it's a farming game from the side, which is like I don't know, like maybe that's something we wrestled with such a long time of like.
How do you do that?
Like, do you do more like, because originally like we were thinking of the game to be top down, right?
Okay, Gwen doesn't want to talk.
No, she's just a bit down. Telling you, it's gonna be sad.
It's gonna be sad. Yeah.
Not gonna be happy ending.
Okay, we can.
Is that a shark?
Yeah, he's the ship, right? Funnily enough. To upgrade. Okay, so we'll go upgrade our blueprint table because that's something we can do. So that's.
Do you think that makes more space? Are you gonna try and go to that little thingy? What's it?
Okay.
The
little bus thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll go there first and see what that means.
In case like something happens.
Yeah. I could do some cooking while I'm there. Oh, and actually, here. Okay, way ahead of me, Stella. Your thumb is green as your hat. This boat. So that might be like. So she said way ahead of you because I think I've planted some seeds and watered them.
Yeah.
Okay, floating farm. Don't forget, you'll probably have to water the plants once in a while. Don't ask my effort. My garden is limited. Wow, waspish. Nice. So as limited as my father's empathy. Boom. You'll have to find better mentors than me, which reminds me, I believe it's time for you to find new people. Not that I don't love the idea of just the two of us cruising the oceans, but you are the Spiritfarer, and Spiritfarers find spirits. And yes, help them fulfill their last wishes, however mundane they can be. I've heard of a place not far from here where someone might be in need of your help. I'll bet you'll like this one if he is who I think he is. Go, let's sail. Okay, so that's That's yeah. Okay, so that's find the passenger on those two places. Okay. So we are now at this point in the map island thing where that bus was, and this is what. Oh, it's a bus shower.
Oh, there's something.
Can I get onto the bus shower? Doesn't seem to. Maybe she had something to say about this. No, there doesn't seem to be anything about. Okay, this is a lot of story. So apologies for skipping through it, but it doesn't seem to be anything about. Yeah, that was just all character backstory. Love it as I do. Nothing to do with this weird like bus stop in the middle of the ocean. So I'm guessing that probably unlocks something later, or that becomes relevant later when you unlock things, should I say? So let's go and update the blueprint mode first. Blueprint maker.
I'm now reading about this. How do you pronounce sticks? Sticks?
Yeah, sticks.
It's the that is the ocean.
Okay, yeah.
River.
Well, it's the river Styx, like in mythology. It's interesting that they went. I mean, you can see why they changed that aspect of it to an ocean, right? But it is quite a liberty to take.
Oh, are those cutscenes voiced? Are they voice acting in this?
No, there's that kind of thing that you often get, like where it goes,
yeah,
like alongside. At least I don't think. Yeah.
Because Dave stuff saying would make it home benefit from voice cutscenes, or some kind of like the
It might benefit from that. The whole voiced cutscene thing. I think we would we have a kind of like equivalent of cutscene at the start, I suppose, don't we? And that's about, I think, probably as close as we're going to get. Would it benefit from more? Probably, yeah. Like, I think we might want to look at doing them between the acts, for instance.
Yeah. Did you just... Oh, I was really excited. I thought you roasted some coffee.
No. So we see if we can roast some vegetables. Love me some roasted vegetables. So let's check on my plants. They don't seem to.
So Natch is saying, how do we make the sounds for our games? Sound effects. We tend to buy those. I find it's one of the most challenging parts, actually. Like, we've got what did we buy? It was like a crafting game pack or something. We've done some stuff with those sounds to make them sound like things what they're not.
yeah. What's interesting is for us there's no immediate RPG game sound pack for what our game, the various sounds we need. So like you say, we've taken sounds that are like cannon fire, or no, we haven't done that. Fireworks.
I'm trying to think how I did the steam engine. What did I use?
Was it was doors opening and closing, wasn't it?
Something like that. It was like, because it was the push. It might have been. I think it was like a door. No, it was a sword swinging. It was like the whoosh of a sword, like whoosh, whoosh.
Okay.
And then if you do that fast enough, it sounds like a steam engine. Is it possibly?
What is this guy?
I don't know. Jump down.
I did jump down, and I don't know if I. Is it okay, yeah. See, again, it's all a bit. The layers is interesting. What layer? Okay. How do I jump down onto? Okay, maybe I can just talk to him from here. There we go. Sorry, what?
I was just saying, can you talk to him from there?
Yeah,
you're right.
You're right. I guess you must be the new Spiritfarer. Happy to make your acquaintance. I'm Francis, obviously. You can say I'm sort of a wandering merchant. See, I'm very fond of things. Okay, this is have you ever seen The Labyrinth?
No.
Oh yeah, you should watch The Labyrinth. It's like the bag woman in The Labyrinth, but that would make no sense to you. Plenty of people at home, I'm sure, have seen it. So it's very fond of things, objects, curios, tchotchkes.
What animal is he?
Sloth. I don't know. Simply put, I would buy anything you don't want anymore. It's a good question, though. I'm sure you've come across a few valuable treasures already. So tell me, what is it you want to part with? So, okay, so just like, oh, there's errands. Oh, dailies. Daily alert.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really want to sell anything yet.
Dailies. Like, is that dailies as in real days or in-game days?
I don't even want to know. But okay, I don't really have anything. Oh god, I got something in the oven. I don't have anything I really want to sell or buy yet because I don't really know.
Yeah.
If that's something I need to do. Do I need to feed thingamabobby? Yeah, sheep. So I just got to remind myself what she actually likes. So she's hungry.
Is it you're trying to become really good friends with all these spirits?
I don't.
Naturally doing that, or is that like? How much of this is a dating game? I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay, she doesn't like shellfish.
Worried she was allergic there for a second.
She doesn't like touche. She doesn't like healthy stuff. She likes comfort food. But let's see. Okay, there we go. So she's happy with that, right? But like because I don't know if there's a fail state. There might be, but I just haven't necessarily encountered it. I don't know what the risk of not keeping her happy is. You know?
Yeah.
And yes, that idea of, as Dave says, like keeping them happy with the right stuff. Okay, you need to add a mailbox to it. Sean.
Yeah.
Mailboxes, right? Mailboxes on boats, Sean. Like we were initially like, is it going to work having mailboxes at every truck stop in the middle of nowhere, let alone on your vehicle?
Yeah.
I don't think we should have played this game. It's kind of weirdly triggering.
Yeah, like it's yeah, but then it's like it's just they are the ideas you would have, right?
What you mean? They're obvious.
Well, yeah, like they're or you know they're. Well, oh my no, it didn't just say that would give you time to write to your friends.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, take some time to write to your pen pals, Sean.
Yeah, we were going to do that.
And like we were kind of interested in having other characters on our vehicle for making it home as well, right? Like we definitely wouldn't have come up with this kind of NPC system in quite the same way.
Yeah.
We were thinking, like initially when we were designing it, we were thinking more about kind of Thomas Was Alone style things, right? Where you like have a character that would be at the top of your vehicle and you just switch between that and the ladybird.
Yeah. Yeah. And they almost like the idea of you make friends with these characters and they can come and so like the initial idea, I guess. You know, it's okay to say. The initial idea was, if I remember correctly, that you go around the dialogue system. You're meeting these characters. You maybe spend some time writing to them and stuff, and eventually, if they like you enough, they come onto your vehicle and then can help you.
Yeah. Like
you have like almost like an AI character. Like I don't think it would be AI, but you know, there's another truck. There's another bus stop.
There's loads there, but what I want to do is we need to pick up a character. Yeah,
noticing it. Yeah, I guess why did we? I guess we moved away from that. Obviously, like possibly due to scope.
Scope. I mean, it's always due to scope. It's like
Yeah.
every decision we make is like, yeah, we could do that, but like that doubles the whatever.
Yeah.
If we stopped, I just need to. We stop at
But
night.
also scope in terms of artwork as well, right? Like,
Oh, it affects all
so
aspects.
much.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
does. But that's not to say those things can't be added to making it home. Like, we can have a mailbox panel. We could have pen pals. Like, the NPC aspect of it, like, I think you and I feel like you and I spoke about this for hours, Sean. Like, a lot of our development time was, do we have resources in making it home? Like, beyond money? And why do people like that? Like, people love collecting resources, right? Like, why? Big crazies. Like, what is it about resource management that everybody loves? Oh, I've actually got, like, some of this stuff's growing now. Exciting.
Well, I guess, like, a lot of the mechanics we have in the game are, they're like real-time resource management. It's like you're converting your movement into electricity, and then electricity into something, into thrust, or electricity into money, or because electricity into the piggy bank that sucks in stuff, or it is that element, but not literally like collecting things, like and taking things and carrying things from one place to another. We went action. In a way, the game went more to, like, we went more into the platforming.
Yes.
I think it's like we were like, oh yeah, we could. It was like, hey, what if we just jump? What if you could jump on bellows, and the higher you jumped on them from, the faster you go? And then that kind of, the game then became that, right? Like that was like the kind of turning point, I think.
For sure. Yeah. Like, yeah. Like, you and I just, in testing it, and I guess one thing I wonder was one day whether or not we'll feel that was a decision made too soon. Don't know. Interesting question. We've got some coffee beans.
Nice.
That you and I, in playing it, were like, this is the fun, right? This is where we're having the fun. And maybe, I don't know, we'll have to see if time will tell if that was a good shout.
I think it was. Like
Sure.
I think I don't think we need to, like, I don't think whether or not that was the right call in terms of making money is another thing, right? That's the who knows, but I think in terms of the game we made, that was, I don't even think you can say was it the right or wrong. It was like, that was the decision we made, and then we made other decisions based on that, because at some point you have to just be like, right, this is what we're doing. And then I think the approach we've always said is like, once we've got something working and there's fun, then we can make that into a good game. Whatever it is, it's almost like, and then it kind of drives you. Because this, like, the one thing this is like, okay, like, why we couldn't have made it like this game in terms of resource management.
Sorry.
The thing that this game has that we couldn't ever do is all these locations. Right? And I think that's important. I think it's like towns. I think resource management, these kind of games need the towns, need places for you to go and do things. Animal Crossing, you go to islands and stuff and meet people. Like Stardew Valley, you go to, there's the town, right? You've got your farm, but you go into the town and there's stuff there. And that's a lot of scope that we just can't, is beyond us, really.
Yeah.
Because it's artwork. It's like you have to have that. It has to look great. You have to, when you haven't got that action element, you have to bring these other things up, which we just it's not within our kind of ability in a way, like, or our like we have to play to what our strengths are, right?
Yeah, agreed.
That's what
Agreed.
that's what we did, really.
So this guy dropped his lemon. No judgment. You know, we've all been there.
Dropped a lemon today.
So there we go. Did you?
Yeah,
Is that when you're making a cocktail?
no, it was when I was making the dinner from the HelloFresh box. I didn't expect to arrive.
So they were fresh lemons at least. Right, so I've got to get this guy's lemon.
I'm not sure about that, but they were lemons. Yay.
Okay, yeah, there we go. We got his lemon. A tissue or something. Okay.
Do you know what? So, like, I
This guy's
ordered
got his own thing.
a lot. Like, I restocked my bar on the weekend, or like,
Nice.
not the weekend, last week. I had to cancel the delivery because it was going to turn up during a lecture. So I had to like do the DPD cancel it thing. But it arrived, and one of my bottles of bitters had kind of like slightly broke. And I only noticed this at like 7 o'clock. It like bitters everywhere in the box. This was like 7:30, 8 o'clock on a Friday night. I saw this because I opened it then. So, whatever. Shit happens. It's fine.
It's not the end of the world. Sure.
In that box. That bottle of bitters was not the end of the world. So I emailed them and I'm like, hey, like this happened. So it's fine, but just would you be able to send me a replacement? I got a replacement the next day, Saturday morning at like
what?
10
They were like, this guy needs his bitters. Stat.
Yeah. And then you start to think, hang on a second, am I spending so much money at this shop?
We might lose Sean Waltman as a customer. Quick. Okay. So this toad, it looks like a toad, is going to be someone, maybe someone important. My father, her father. It's me, Stella. Your uncle. Okay, my Uncle Toad. So that, like, again, trying not to go down this route too much, but the animals are not like the real people. They're metaphorical for the real people.
If I got to get a lawyer.
Someone had bugged our pub conversation, Sean.
Were they in Chapter Art Centre? It's weird, isn't it?
It's weird. Like, that's what's this, like, uncanny valley. It really is.
Yeah. Like, it's great. It's I think it's. I just want to like. I don't know. It's weird. I kind of want to just be like, email them and say, "Hey, this is fantastic. Well, like, amazing." Like, I don't know. Like, I know the Philo and Sales developers. Like, I messaged one of them. One of them messaged us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Oh, because they saw that we streamed their game, and they were like, yeah, okay, that's cool. The approach you've taken to this idea." But yeah.
Guys, I was very impressed with my Seamaster 2000, which I can't really remember what it actually is. So I don't know if it's my blueprint board or. Oh no, okay, fine. It's just the fishing rod.
Fishing rod.
Okay. You sure know how to treat yourself. Wait a damn second. You're missing a few bolts. Let me guess. You've been fishing out mostly garbage. I had, yeah. Well, I got a few things. Well, not anymore. You'll see the difference immediately. Give it a go for a fan. Okay. So, I've just been using... I assumed it was the light thing rather than the fishing rod, as it were. Am I supposed to be going... Oh, there we go.
So is the fishing minigame active at all? Oh, it went red there. So
yeah, it didn't work. Yeah. I don't know. Like, you're supposed to reel it in. You hold down X when the oh fuck, what's that called?
Reel, fish.
Yeah,
float.
no. It's the float. Yeah, thank you.
So when it turns red, you release it because you break it. Yeah, it's a fishing minigame.
That's not happened before though.
No, you're now in next level fish.
Yeah.
First time I went fishing, I had a bite. First bite I ever had, and I immediately started reeling it the wrong way. And then
Nice.
my dad and his friend spent the entire rest of this fishing trip trying to untangle my fishing rod.
Nice. We got a squid, so we'd never done that before. So that's nice.
Is squid shellfish?
I don't like. I want to say no because it doesn't have a shell, but I could well be very wrong about that.
Yes, but peanuts aren't nuts.
And tomatoes are fruit. Ah, it's upside down. It's all up is down. You can milk an almond. It's all madness out there, Sean. Okay. The water is very salty. Okay, cool. Okay, so like Seamaster 2000, we have fished. Now, what I don't know is if I need to. Oh, I need to water these things. So I'm starting to get my plate spinning.
Okay. Yeah, you've got your flow. Like you're starting to
maybe look like something like that needs.
Now I water the coffee. Now I water the blah blah blah. We've got a coffee plant downstairs now.
Nice.
Like we in our kind of crazy. Oh, what? Wait a second.
What?
Have you seen what Nacho said? If tomatoes are fruit, then
ooh, touche. Oh, those coffees.
He's right.
Really close. I mean, someone get the UN on the phone because like we are about to really change people's opinions on a lot of key.
So what you're saying is I tipped a smoothie over my cheese on toast today.
Okay. So she is pretty like on the nose about like, by the way, you've got to do this thing. Go do this thing.
Yeah.
So we need more people on this boat, new passengers. There's got to be a few people around like I was. Okay. Right, so the thing I'm not sure about is like she was very clear that I needed one guest house, like, and that's this one, but I don't know if I need a guest house per guest.
I would imagine so.
Would make a bit of sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Did you just? Oh, you open up some more of the map. So here, should you be going like and getting glims and stuff? Like, I mean, should you do what you want? I guess, but
what I don't know is like you're right. What I don't know is the priority kind of for things. She was telling me go get some. Go get the next passenger. Stupid.
Right.
That's kind of what she just said. So I was like, right, okay, we're going to go to Hummingbird because I've got some obols to spend and I can get the next passenger. And this guy seems fine. I could go fish. I know my coffee's ready.
Yeah, it's so it's an interesting kind of
popcorn even.
It's like that balance between you got these moments of quite high like. I need to water my plants. I need to go and cook my thing. I need to go and do this, and then it's just kind of chill. It's separated out by kind of chill chatting.
Yeah. So he's telling me I can go get
Struck by lightning.
Yeah. And there's supposed to be some kind of visual indicator that it's going to happen.
Have you got a bottle?
I think I do. Or is it that thing? It's his thing.
Probably check that first.
There you go. No, he gave me some bottles.
All right, cool. Oh, it's Glim. Oh no, you got. So yeah, it's a lot. So they've come up with these mini games. These quite active mini games, but quite simple and like.
Oh, poop.
Games are weird. Like
games are weird, yeah.
Like it just.
Oh no, my cat got.
No.
She's fine though. She's fine. Everybody, Daffodil's fine. Okay, so I now don't have any empty bottles, which is why I think I'm only just getting Okay. So it's night time, so we're not going anywhere. This guy's like just doing a whole jazz routine over here. Fair play to him. So I think I'm going to go sleep because I don't have any empty bottles. Like, I could kind of keep glim farming, but I will... Oh, I can't go through... Oh, no. Okay.
Can you not... when you're
No,
in
I
this
couldn't.
area?
No. Mm-hmm.
So now you come out of this and you've got the bar in the top left. Now.
Yeah. Gave your uncle quite a scare. Did you feel that rumble? What a rush. Yes, my rumble pad did go kind of mental. Okay. Thanks for being the best captain I could have ever hoped for. Everybody, and I love it, it's great, everybody in this game is super positive. Like, they are just loving the afterlife. And that's great. Can we harvest this?
And I think, like, so a lot of the kind of reviews and cover, like, I guess the people who have played this that I've heard talking about it is like how the timing of the release of this game has been, like, obviously during the pandemic, has been, like, I suppose well timed. Like it's I know it's helped a lot of people.
Yeah,
like it's kind of
That's totally fair. That makes sense. Because in some ways you could worry a little bit if it was in some way kind of weirdly insensitive or poorly timed. But actually, you're right. Like, because it is so positive, I imagine it could be quite a game that would help people rather than upset them.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, like, Kath was, like, absolutely on board as soon as I told her that there's a cat that follows you around and every now and again you accidentally hug it. Like,
you
know, that's going to be enough for some people, and that's great.
Yeah.
Just like how I'm hoping people will pick up making it home because there's a ladybird and every now and again you make its bum wiggle. That's like, that's... Okay, okay, she's hungry. God, yeah, she doesn't let up with this, like, being hungry business. She loves her coffee, though. Yeah, damn fine cup of coffee. Is that Twin Peaks?
I don't know. Not seen.
You're not sweet. Wow, okay, you need to watch the TV show Twin Peaks, because as a coffee fan... You will just enjoy that aspect of the show.
Yeah, I keep meaning to. It's a thing that is on my list of, like, I gotta watch it. We are still making our way through Stargate.
Oh yeah.
What I realized last night is how it's been this kind of fascinating journey through, like, TV because of when the first series of Stargate is compared to, like, the last one, particularly watching on DVD, because it started out the first DVDs, like the kind of DVD menu. I don't know if you remember, like, when they used to be all computer generated and, like, there's a computer generated Stargate that when you push play all, the camera goes through the Stargate, and, like, I think we're at season 8 now, and or 9. I think we're on 8, and, like, it's kind of toned down a little bit, but now we've started getting, like, you wouldn't steal a car. And you wouldn't steal a car,
those ones.
And
that's awesome.
The thing that was really interesting about it was that the last series, that kind of, like, anti-piracy message came after they started putting unskippable trailers, like the season after, and, like, you kind of start to think, well, hang on, if you just make the experience of watching your DVDs good, maybe people wouldn't pirate them. Like,
that's some next level thinking, Sean. I now have a double jump, by the way, so that's cool. I can now be part of the upstairs crew. Right? The coolest crew in town. Wicked moves getting up here. I kind of lied earlier. It's not so great up here, yeah? So, but you're here, so it might get better. An honorary member of the upstairs crew. Yeah, fair. Okay. So yeah, that was an anticlimax. But I'm glad I didn't waste loads of money.
You can't go into the key. Is that?
Yeah. But I'm glad I didn't waste any money on this. Right. But we're looking for our next. Okay. Okay. These guys all have really interesting, weird tidbits going on.
So do they turn into the spirits that you end up?
They are, yeah. They're prospective customers, I think. Second, you don't have a full set. Oh, okay.
Interesting. Right.
Did you see that?
There's a sheep to your left. There was like a sheep walking around.
You sure that's not my cat?
No, there.
Oh, that is it. You're right. There is a sheep. It just makes a barring noise. I can't interact with the sheep. But yeah, you spotted that. I don't know if the kids at home did. That spirit basically wants a better kitchen on my ship before I can take them as a passenger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the upstairs crew fella. Ooh, you look suspiciously different. I'm going to sit here casually next to you with my cat. Because for some reason I didn't get there. There we go. What? Oh, you gave me such a fright. That cat, he looks familiar. Daffodil? There's my cat. Yes, it is. Ever so silky, aren't you? Then that must mean Stella. Is that really you? What a fantastic turn of events. I just wonder if a lot of people in Stella's life have died, and that's why she's here. Right? Starting to see that. Like, maybe that's obvious and it's a part of the Steam description and I haven't even looked, but we've got a good old friend, an uncle, and then I don't know who this is. But it seems she seems to know who I am.
It's going to be sad, Dave.
It's going to be sad, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get going. We have some lessons to get through. Lessons perhaps in grief, Sean. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Like who would make a sad, cute game like this, Sean?
Is making a home sad? I suppose it could be.
Yeah. Okay. No comment.
Okay.
So, what have you been playing, Sean? What have you been playing lately?
What have I been playing? I have been playing. Well, I completed Uncharted. Uncharted 4. Like Naughty Dog games, right? I love them, but I love them for the first, like 15 hours, and then it's the point where it's like, I'm doing the same stuff again and again and again, and it does the thing that I said where like I'm so used to the way the game works that I know what to do before the NPCs tell me what to do. So I'm like trying to get up through this hole, and I haven't triggered the right cutscene to let me go there. So I just got angry with the game. Like it just towards the end, I was like, I'm finishing it because screw you. But I don't know, and it's the same with most of the. And they always have sequences where you run towards the camera, and I can't do it. Even since what's the first game that they made on PlayStation? What's it called? Crash Bandicoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you got a snake now?
I do have a snake.
Yeah. So but anyway, like I liked it. Like I enjoyed it. You know, like overall positive feeling towards it, and just a lot more of Hitman 3, and it's great. It continues to be great and surprise me in different ways.
Okay,
so yes.
Cool. That's good. I think I think we might have what we need for a garden now. Yeah, we do. Thanks to the lightning in the bottle. It's a big building.
So is it just money again? I say just money, but
what do you mean just money?
How much like? How different do you think if we played this game, if I was playing this game, like how different do you think
the boat
we'd end up with?
I mean, Sean, I've seen you and me build some pretty different things in our time, but you're right. Like, I don't know. At the moment, I'm guessing not very much because it's all pretty beginner level stuff, right? Like, this is the basic level things going on. Like, I keep pressing the wrong button. But you're right. I wonder at the moment how much customization there really is. I should just plant some seeds.
I think that's a good analogy, Dave Soft. It feels, it's like the moment.
What?
This game is Duplo compared to Lego at the moment.
Yeah, the roof's off for building efficiency. Yeah. Okay. This guy, this Uncle Toad guy is he's just so happy. He's just so happy to be here. It's amazing. Which means it's going to be all the more crushing when you have to send his soul off into oblivion.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could deal with this right now.
What a wonderful little garden. It's a wonderful garden, Sean. We're going to plant some things in our garden. It's going to be lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need seeds. Like, are there veggie seeds rather than the crop seeds we were doing in our fields? Which I get, like, but this seems a bit like we need another thing. So we've already got a field, like, let's make a garden. I mean, maybe farming games are like that, full stop, and I don't play enough of them, right? Maybe it's like just a lot of the same stuff, but like, I'm sure if we developed that, we would be like, no, that garden's way too much like the field. Like, it needs to. Maybe it will be
different. That's what we need to do less of. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, yes. They're basically the same, but not. I don't know. But then the game has taught you like this verb of you plant seeds, and like when I say like a game design verb of like you plant, grow, like that. That's so why mess with that if you've taught that.
Okay, so this might be something that's different. Is that I'm supposed to, I think, sing to my crops. To my garden. What? Supposed to hold white. Okay, here we go. Oh God. Okay.
Oh, hello.
Can you remember, like, I'm guessing you're actually maybe gay. I should probably have the sound up some more. Sorry, everyone. Can you remember that? Oh fuck. Yeah, balls that.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. The other animal game we played.
Yeah.
When it's about with the kind of
Night in the Woods.
Night in the Woods, yeah, that has this,
it's
right?
This kind of thing, yeah.
So it's another game. So like Last of Us Part 2 had this in it.
What is it about like games making you replicate music then? What's that? What's the jam there?
I don't know. Like,
is this just going to go on and on?
But this is really like it is that thing of like, and I hate to like this is kind of turning into this is just like the idea we thought, but when we were trying to figure out like how to make. We were trying to figure out how to make the panels in the game feel different, and we kept thinking about this idea of making these little mini games.
Yeah,
be like go to a panel, and then you have to like.
Yeah, but I'm fucking done with this now. There we go. Right, fine.
Hit buttons in a certain order or something.
Okay. Yeah. So I sang to my carrots, and they worked. It worked. So I just need to talk to the snake lady, which is easier said than done. Okay. So that's another thing to do, like in terms of that plate spinning, right? Like if I sing to my vegetables, boom, I get vegetables better.
Has anyone ever made a rhythm fishing game?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
so right, so I guess like the more complicated this stuff gets, right, the more I'm gonna have to use the nighttime as I think it was Luke who said about like managing all the other things while I'm not going
Yeah.
anywhere.
Hmm.
Yeah, sleeping in the guest house not necessarily getting crowded in there. Look, I'm not complaining. A little nice house, okay. Something about Alpine, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so Gwen wants a lodge, so I'm guessing like
So I guess you get a blueprint for everyone's own
could well
house.
be, yeah. Let's cook some squid while I'm thinking about what else to do. So yeah, let's have a look at what blueprints we got. I assumed they might need more than just that one guest house anyway, so.
Yeah.
It's got loom, kitchen garden, foundry and sawmill. So there's quite a lot to unlock. Gwen's Lodge.
It's a proper like crafting game.
So I can actually, yeah, I guess that's because like.
So, me and Dave we talked about this before stream, but we forgot to do the thing again this year.
But I think the repetitive nature of us forgetting this is actually on point, right?
Yeah. It's Groundhog Day today, and we forgot to make a bit of a deal about that for Cycle 28. So I'm thinking I might just stick the game on sale on itch and call it the shit we forgot it was Groundhog Day sale.
Sale, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. They don't need water, Dave. Christ. I can't get out. Right, okay. So, okay, strange dreams, giant snake, yep, okay. My dreams have been visions. Bringing a map of the cabin, managed to keep trash marked. Okay, so she tells me that she wants to go and visit someone. This guy does not look well.
No, what did you do?
Oh, they're tired. They're tired, Sean. They just need me to move time on, I think.
Or give them coffee.
Yeah, they might need some food. Oh God, coffee. Oh, that needs watering now.
You burning your. There you go.
Yeah. I'm on it. Squid, got my squid. Actually, let's put something on to bake while I go and water something. Let's roast some carrots.
So request Luke sent you the dragon mini game before you're done.
Do the dragon mini. Okay. Everything is a mini game. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go to bed. She said go somewhere, and let's have a look at the quote. So, summer is marked on the map. An old acquaintance. There's no other shenanigans. Upgrades. We don't have any upgrades that we've got stuff for. So I'm gonna go to bed. So I've been playing with my friends a lot of Risk of Rain too, Sean.
Yeah.
So like to the point where I must admit we've been looking stuff up. Did you? Because you and Mac and H played it for a while, right?
Yes.
Did you guys? How far did you guys get in the end?
I think I don't. I found it hard to tell.
Fair, yeah.
Like I think we got to the point where we could just pretty much indefinitely keep going.
Oh, you did, yeah. Okay.
But I don't, because there's a way of like deciding to fight the boss or something, right? I don't know. You tell how far have you?
Yes, fair. Like I think we're still like less along than you are. We're not looping in the way that I think you need to. But we've almost I think we've got 2, maybe 3 characters to unlock still.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool, seeing a lot of the different characters.
Yeah.
But yes, we definitely need to work on our skills to pay the bills to be able to loop. Why am I watering the same one? Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played it. Like, I feel like at some point I was like, oh, I probably need to look something up to figure out how to do something, which I'm not. I don't know.
You're more of a discovery guy, right?
Yeah. I prefer to like be listening to someone talk about it on a podcast and mention something and be like, oh, I haven't seen that, and then try and find it myself. But that's quite a hard thing to do in a multiplayer game, I think, because like people, yeah.
You don't want to be just like messing around, going, I just want to try this thing.
Well, no, not so much that. I don't know. I guess I mean, the people I play with know I kind of like am happy, and weirdly, I'm happy when a game is difficult. And like, I don't want to just be able to win straight away.
Sure.
I don't know. Like that's the. I'm not like. I guess I used to like. What I used to hate the most is, and kind of probably why my experience with World of Warcraft was so negative, was that everyone I was doing dungeons with were like, stand here, turn 10 degrees to the right, push this button, then this button, and there we go, we're done.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, okay, well, so I don't get to figure this out. Like, I don't get to like actually play the game.
No,
because
you've got to, because someone else has already figured it out, Sean.
Yes, someone else has figured out this is the most efficient way to get the gear, and then they're kind of. And then, like, what's the bloody point? But like, but then if you're enjoying it, it's fine. I'm not gonna, there's no. For me, I'm like, I don't get it at that point.
Yeah. Well, as someone who did do that quite a lot, I suppose. I guess it just becomes an act of like, is it challenging enough to execute that? And if it's not, then you're right. Then it's less interesting. It becomes the challenge of the execution of what you have. There's knowing what you have to do and then being able to do what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
That is slightly different.
Yeah.
Right,
so like I've heard, I've heard, and like there are videos being suggested to me on YouTube of like you can do the Hitman, you can do the Dubai in Hitman 3 in like 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Like because of the way people are standing, if you have a sniper rifle, you can kill them pretty quickly. And like I'm like, that's kind of interesting. And so, like, I'm not a speedrunner by any stretch of the imagination, but I can imagine the thing I like about Hitman is, like, I can imagine myself kind of thinking, right, okay, I'm going to try and do these kills as quickly as possible, which is very different. Normally, I kind of am quite, methodical and kind of slow is not the word I'd like to use personally, but I take my time and I don't like killing innocent people and stuff.
Sure.
What? I didn't. Like,
I mean, you can
kill people who shot at me first. Like this.
You can tell yourself that, right? But are those people in those cupboards just, how much are they loving life? Okay.
Look, they might end up confined to a wheelchair, but they are not dead. It's like the Batman logic, right? It's Batman doesn't kill anyone, but he sure injures them.
Okay. Touche. Right, so I've just fed my quick jump in the water. Okay. Just fed my snake a vegetarian meal. Seems questionable, but okay. I'm on board with it at least. So at this point, I just kind of went here because I was like, I need resources, right? Like I need some stuff to build some stuff. Like this guy wants me to build a sawmill. I have no idea. I love stroking the cat, but it's kind of annoying. Okay, I think that's it here. So yeah, like this is Spiritfarer, Sean. Like there's obviously a lot more going on. Like there's a lot of stuff to build. There's characters who are constantly wanting your attention. There's stuff to harvest, crops to plant, resources to gather, and so on and so forth.
Cool. No, it's good. It's interesting. Like again, like we said, like particularly for us, as very similar.
So close to what we thought.
Weird, isn't it? It's just really weird. It's really weird. There's probably like, looking back at some of maybe our early Patreon videos and thinking, like, oh yeah, that's kind of the stuff we were talking about for sure. But yeah, no, it's cool. I think it's a gorgeous game. It looks great. Looks interesting. Like this is a game. You say it's out on Switch.
Yeah, I think Ligley was saying that he'd picked it up on Switch.
Because I feel like I want to play this downstairs.
Yeah.
Like on my TV. You know, this is a TV game for me. But even though I've got it on Game Pass on PC, like that's not on downstairs. Like, you know. Woe is me. I spent way too long on the weekend trying to get Hitman 3 to work on my Steam Link. Because it's on the Epic Store, and then like realizing that I don't want to get like I got to the point where I was like cloning a Git repository of like this guy has like made a thing that allows you to do it, and then that's when it's too far, too much.
Fair enough.
Which came upstairs, but yeah. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Like, I'm glad you brought this.
Yeah, man. It's yeah, like it's so funny. Like, I mean, I think like we've talked about. Oh, I've got a message in the bottom. Like the reasons why we could never have made a game like Spiritfarer, and yet we have made a game that has some similarities to Spiritfarer in.
Yeah.
In
the
what
point where people will now play our game and be like, oh yeah, that they kind of looked at what Spiritfarer did and like like people.
Yeah. And like in fact, because it's taking us so long to develop Making It Home, fair enough. Like people maybe won't see the genuine like inspiration, which was really something closer to Far Lone Sales in 80 days.
Yeah. And
they'll see this, which is interesting. Like that is kind of funky. And
there's still like like I mean I don't know if we can say we can learn stuff from this still, and like we could. I mean I think we are winding down development, right? Like that's our kind of goal at the moment. Is we're in a polished stage, I would say. I'm going through at the moment, and just like I said, like we were talking before stream, I'm going like panel by panel and like messing with trying to just kind of like polish it. Add a few lighting effects. I have added like so Dave Soft and Luke Lee were kind of chatting with me in Discord about the laser being overpowered, and I've added a heat mechanic, so now there is a temperature. Like Dave has made a thermometer, and so like if you they will heat up and they will blow up. Things will blow up if you're kind of pushing it too far. So there's a bit of pushy luck. There are also ways of cooling it down. So there are like some things you can do to help with that. But I like that light. So one thing actually straight away, like thinking about those lighting and flashing effects. Like on top of, I guess one thing that we could look at and think about is how they use hand-drawn art. Yeah. And like how we can make that look like, I like those effects, like they're like, that's what we like what like what is, do we go like with a lot of the kind of pixel art explosions and stuff we've got, do we go in the level of making them more like graphical, like do you see what I mean, like more rendered, like more
in shaders, less in pixel sprites stuff? Which
Yeah, it is some post processing going on. Occasional leaf flying between the camera and the scene. Yeah, I like that. Did and I like what they've done here is they've got those jellyfish really close to the camera flying past.
Yes, yes.
We talked about doing that in the forest, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, if you like, we do bits of it within the menu screens, don't we? With like our leaves, they're small.
Yeah.
They don't come close to the camera quite so much. But oh my god, this is a lot of
God, that is,
jellyfish.
yeah. It might be worth experimenting with, like, when you get really far. I wonder how, cause there's, I guess it can't be everywhere. Like, it's got to be in a few, it's got to be.
It'd be annoying if it happened all the time.
But it's a really good effect. I think it's a really neat effect.
Cool.
And like, I'm watching it on a stream, so I imagine that's pretty good where you are.
It does look pretty good. Cool, man. Well, so where can people find us, Sean?
They can find us at pillbug.zone. Click happy internet buttons. Tell your friends that we exist.
And if you're a fan of Spiritfarer and fancy some more vehicle building games with stories that are probably darker than they initially appear, check out Making It Home on Steam.
Yeah.
And at itch.io.
Yes. Cool. Thanks, everyone.
See you next week, everybody.
Have a good day.
Bye.